561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. And for a limited time only, if you're a Steve Kane listener, 10% off all cosmetic services. And if you happen to be
welcome, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Another 10%, that's 20%.
Oh man,
off all
I tell you,
services leading up to this.
we have a scary thing going on, and we're going to talk about right here in the beginning with what happened with Biden yesterday. It was so bad what Biden did yesterday. Like 5 minutes ago, I changed the thumbnail and the title on the YouTube video here. It's that bad. So yeah, I know. So make sure you're subscribed there, guys.
I ordered my pillow, and let me tell you, I thought it was just a, marketing tool saying that you sleep better.
I know. This is
Oh my God. I'm here to attest that it is.
we're in scary times. I'm going to when I get on the air, Robert. This is our top of the hour break. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. My name is Brian Craig. This is the longest running radio show in Florida, the Steve Kane Show, and we're live on the radio from 6 until 9 a.m. weekdays. That's Eastern Time. And this is our top of the hour break at the start of the show.
And have the best night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow.
Here we go.
One of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel.
Does anyone know if the Tampa, Florida rally venue for President Trump, July 3rd, has been released?
Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, Palm Beach Gardens, and Naples. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Yes. All right, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Welcome back, one and all. And Biden yesterday with Putin did something that is the most reckless, irresponsible thing that any president has ever done. And I'm not saying this just because I don't like Biden. I don't like Biden, okay? I'm not a Biden guy, and I think you guys all know this. But I had no plans on talking about Biden with his meeting with Putin. I really don't like talking about Biden. I don't like listening to Joe Biden. And, that's me. That's me. And I think that's a lot of you, too. But he did something yesterday that has really set us up here in America to make us, less safe. And I want to share this with you. I'm just going to play the audio first cold, and then we will talk about it. I have never seen something so reckless as this. This is Biden yesterday.
Another area we spent a great deal of time on.
Tim, $10 super chat. Everyone thank Tim.
Cybersecurity. I talked about the proposition that certain critical infrastructure should be off limits to attack, period, by cyber or any other means. I gave them a list. If I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me, 16 specific entities. 16 defined as critical infrastructure under U.S. policy, from the energy sector to our water systems. Of course, the principle is one thing. It has to be backed up by practice. Responsible countries need to take action.
Okay, that's it. So he gave Biden gave Putin, Jacqueline, $10 super sticker. Everyone thank Jacqueline. Biden is bragging like he did something good for us. He gave Putin a list of 16 things that are off limits to hack. And I know on TV they're laughing. It's so funny. This is not funny. This is not a joke. This is not a punchline. There's one thing that is off limits to hack. If you're the president of the United States, you're meeting with Putin, there's one thing that's off limits to attack. America. Don't hack anything in America. Now, here's a list of 16 things. Mommy, is it pudding night or Jell-O night? Here, Mr. Putin, Here's a list of 16 things that are off limits to hack. So is everything else open to hacking? What the hell is going on here? And, what the press did yesterday, everyone's talking, Biden snapped at a reporter and the reporters are giving him a hard time. That was a calculated distraction by the media so that they don't have to talk about this. Kamala Harris is as incompetent as a vice president has ever been. And being an incompetent vice president is a difficult task because vice presidents have zero responsibilities. On rare occasion, they have to come in for a tiebreaker vote in the Senate. That's it. That's it. It's basically a retirement. And she's incompetent. And if she's this incompetent at a job that has zero responsibilities, can you imagine the level of incompetence from Kamala Harris if she were the president that has all kinds of responsibilities 24 hours a day? However, with what Biden did there, this is an example of complete, utter incompetence by Biden that may be due to his cognitive issues. I don't know. It seems to me that he's got a lot of health issues when it comes to cognition, and I don't think I'm alone in this thought. This is a moment for Kamala Harris to step up with the 25th Amendment. I mean, this is crazy talk. I couldn't believe. There were two things I couldn't believe. One, I couldn't believe I was hearing it, and then second, I can't believe that people are making fun of it. Yeah, it's funny, right? Yeah. Until you're one of the 16 things that are not on the list, and you get hacked by Russia.
Another area we spent a great deal of time on was cyber and cybersecurity. I talked about the proposition that certain critical infrastructure should be off limits to attack, period.
Everything's off limits, Biden. I don't care if it's the ice cream shop computer down the street. If it's in America, it's off limits to hacking, Joe Biden. And you know what's crazy about this? He thinks he's some tough butch guy. I showed Putin. He thinks this makes him look good. I got to hear your thoughts on this. Am I overreacting? Is this really a punchline? 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is the number. 888-465-2631. And I'll tell you, when I came into the radio station this morning, I was listening. I put my, I get these sound bites, early in the morning. I wake up at 3:30 and I go through the news, and that's when I get together my sound bites and everything. I do all that in the morning. I don't do anything the night before because I want to have the fresh news, what's hot now, what's relevant now. I want to be first with everything. I don't want to talk about yesterday and last night's stuff. And I got a bunch of sound bites, and this was one of them. And I didn't pay too much attention to it. I thought, okay, this is pretty bad. And then when I put these sound bites in the computer here at the radio station, I play them just to make sure the audio levels are okay, to do a final audio level check. And I listen to Biden again in the speakers here in the radio station studio, and it scared the hell out of me. So everything else is okay to hack. And then I got pissed off that everybody in the media thinks this is a joke. And I thought it was so serious that I did something I rarely do. You guys that watch me on YouTube, I changed my YouTube title and my YouTube thumbnail about 5 minutes before 6 o'clock in the morning. I usually set that up before I leave the house around 4 a.m. every day. And I decide, okay, this is going to be it. And then boom, I'll do it 4:30 in the morning. You'll see the YouTube video go up around that time, right? The preview that the show's coming up at 6. And I changed it right before showtime because I thought it was that scary, that important, and something that must be discussed. So I want to hear your thoughts on this at 1-888-465-2631. Also, I was looking this morning, haven't been able to find this. Has the venue for President Trump's rally in Tampa, Florida been announced yet? I'm thinking of going. I'm not sure that I'm going to go. Tampa is, Florida's a big state. And Tampa is at least 4 hours away from my house each way by car. And that's 4 hours each way, and the day before is my wife's birthday. So the rally's on a Saturday. I'd have to drive up the morning after my wife's birthday, 4 hours each way. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about going. I was looking at airfare, and I used to fly to Tampa all the time, many years ago. And I used to fly to Tampa for like $60, $58, $45, and I was looking at the airfares to get to Tampa, Florida, flying out of Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach. And some of the airfares are over $700, and it takes, some of the flights are like 10 to 12 hours long. They want you to fly to Atlanta and have a layover and then fly back to Tampa, Florida. And the only flights I can see that are reasonably priced and don't take a minimum of 8 hours are on the day before, and they're like under $200, so that's reasonable. But that's my wife's birthday, and then I got to get a hotel, so I don't know. And so I know these flights are insane. And Miami's too far south. I might as well drive to Tampa if I'm going to drive to Miami and take a flight out of Miami. But I don't think the venue has been announced, and I also don't think there's been an official confirmation on the Tampa rally from President Trump's team yet. But if you guys, because I know we got a lot of listeners up in the Tampa area, so I imagine our Tampa MAGA people are getting more direct information than the rest of us. So if you're Tampa MAGA or the Tampa Clearwater area MAGA, and you have some intel on the venue and confirmations on the Trump rally, let me know. All right, our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Mike.
Hey, Mike, go ahead. You're on the radio.
Yeah, I listened to his so-called press conference yesterday, and as far as I'm concerned, the guy's an embarrassment to the entire country. He basically gave Putin the list of everything that he could cyber attack if he wants to.
Everything but what's on that list of 16. There's 16 things you can hack, but everything else is okay?
I guess everything else is okay.
It's not funny. I was talking to Steve about it this morning, and he said, "Oh yeah, they were having fun with that on TV last night." I said, "Steve, this is not funny. This is the big. That's like at the height of the Cold War and with Reagan and Gorbachev. And if Reagan went to Reykjavik and met with Mikhail Gorbachev and said, "Here's a list of 16 things that you cannot nuke in America under any circumstances."
No, I agree.
He put us at risk.
This guy basically gave away the farm. He was a joke with the G7 over the weekend. Also, he had cheat notes. He couldn't even sit there and talk to Putin without having cheat notes in his hand so that he remember what he wanted to say. He's a mental case.
I mean, I don't have notes when I'm on the air here. This is all free association.
All the time.
Yeah, I don't use notes. And not only that, the notes were so damn big, Putin could read them. And he speaks and reads fluent English, Putin.
Oh no, I know he does. He was a colonel in the KGB.
Yeah, now he's the chief general of the KGB.
Oh yeah, and he's a sly fox, and that's why he gave Trump such great accommodations in his interview, saying he was a spectacular guy, an extraordinary guy, because he may not have liked Trump, but he respected.
Well, we don't want Putin to like the president. When they go over there and they're praising you, yeah, you're giving them everything. You don't want them to like you. You want them to be pissed. And I'm sorry, this is not an overreaction. This idiot is bragging, I gave him a list of 16 things that are off limits to America's off limits. What the hell?
Brian, as far as I'm concerned, Biden is a bought man. China owns him. Russia owns him.
Well, bought, I mean, I consider him to be like an employee.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he should be fired.
And what the hell is this thing that they're putting on TV yesterday with Hunter Biden and his paint by numbers? Did you see the video of Hunter Biden doing his painting? Did it look like a cocaine straw to you? Did that look like a cocaine straw? You know, and you think that was a mistake? You think that was an accident that Hunter did that? Hell no.
No, he's throwing it up in people's faces.
Yeah.
Because this is what I can get away with.
Exactly.
I can do anything I want because I've been doing it since 2009.
Yeah, he's been doing it since he could talk and walk.
Here's the kicker to me, and I think you'll agree with me 100%. The person pulling the strings on Biden is Obama. I firmly believe that Obama is calling the shots through Rice and a few other people that were in his administration the 8 years, and they have total control, and this is a shadow government.
I have that, Gary. That's coming up.
From Chicago or wherever the hell.
Well, yeah, and you see, you know, Biden again yesterday said, well, if I take questions from people not on the list, I'll be in trouble with the staff. And that means, you know, the staff is Obama.
That's a joke, because if that had been Trump would have said, bring it.
You know, I remember, and I can tell by your voice, you're old enough to remember better than me because I was in high school. But do you remember the summit in Reykjavik, Iceland, with President Reagan and Gorbachev? Okay, this was historic, and you snowflakes, you know, you don't even know who Gorbachev is. But he was the Russian guy with the birthmark on his head, and he was the last premier of the Soviet Union, and there was a summit in Iceland with Reagan and Gorbachev, and Gorbachev came in with a list of demands, and Ronald Reagan would not negotiate, and he walked out of the meeting, got in his limo, and left. And they were warming up Air Force One, and I remember. Do you remember the media reaction? Do you know what the left, the Democrats in Congress and the media said about that?
The meltdown.
Well, they didn't just have a meltdown. The Democrats were talking about impeaching President Reagan because he dishonored the leader of the Soviet Union and walked out of the meeting with Gorbachev. Here you have Biden yesterday. Okay. Saying that there's 16 things that Russia cannot hack. Everything else is okay, I guess. And there's a media blackout with these diversions with the media getting in fake conflict. You want to talk about contrived controversies. These conflicts with Biden and the media yesterday was fake to distract from everything that's going on over there.
He had his own perfect press corps of the ones he called on. They're in on the game.
No doubt about it. I mean, I know you're a good guy, and I know you're chuckling there at that, but it's not funny. He just, I mean, it's.
No, trust me, I'm scared out of my mind for my great nephews. I don't have kids of my own. I'm a Vietnam vet, and I've got great nephews and nieces that are 14 and under, and I fear for their future because of what this clown and the Democrats are trying to do in the next 2 years.
See, right now, this is a bold statement I'm going to make here, but I think this is true. You know, Putin is the strongest leader Russia has had since Stalin, and I think he's been in power 20 years now. When he took over from Yeltsin, 20 years or so. Right now, we are at the biggest threat that we have been with Russia, I would say, since the Cuban Missile Crisis.
I was a senior in high school with the Cuban Missile Crisis. And then I went to college, then I joined the military, went to NAM, did stuff like that. And I've been a patriot. To me, my card was punched in 66, and it doesn't expire as far as being a...
Well, this is pretty frightening, man. I mean, you know, because Putin sees this as an opportunity. So he has... And he knows how bad Biden is. Biden is not really truly expected to run for re-election. Okay, his cognitive decline is so poor. Putin knows that he has a limited window of a perfect opportunity to do whatever the hell he wants to do, and it's before the end of Biden's term here. And the way that he behaved yesterday, and well, all week at the G7, but this moment I'm sharing with you, Russia is going to come back strong. And when I say that this is the biggest threat from Russia since the Cuban Missile Crisis, I am not kidding. I'm not trying to be hype and all this stuff. I believe that.
Well, I agree with you, because his next move would be to totally take over the Ukraine and then walk right...
Yeah, and what would Biden do to that? What would Biden do?
Nothing.
Well, it's not on the list of 16 things, so, it's okay.
No, that's right. And Trump wanted the Polish wanted to build 2 big bases, both ground bases and air bases for our troops to reside right in Poland, and they were going to pick up the tab. Well, that went out the window.
Indeed.
Amen.
Well, listen, I got to run for a break, but where are you calling us from, by the way?
I'm Orlando, Florida.
Orlando. I'm going to be in Orlando this weekend.
Right now, it would have been a different story yesterday if DeSantis was sitting across the table.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, take care, Orlando, Florida. I'm heading up to Orlando, actually, on Saturday. All right, listen, we're going to take a break. If you're on hold, do not go anywhere. There's one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. Here on the Steve Kane Show, we love hearing from our listeners talk about their great experiences with our...
By the way, I posted a video on my YouTube channel last night. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it yet, but I went to on Saturday. Remember, I went to Rush Limbaugh's house on Saturday. Before I went to Rush Limbaugh's house, I went to the church that Trump goes to, where Barron was christened and where Trump and Melania were married, and I gave a tour, which I think is a pretty good tour and video I made. It's on my channel. The Church Where Trump Married Melania is the title. So when you get a chance, go and watch that video. I didn't go to Orlando just for a White Castle hamburger, no. I had some other things to do there. I know it looks like that because that's what's in the video. But, no.
Night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow or one of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, 25 minutes.
Hey, I was going to tell you, my wife and I, we went to Valdosta for the Trump rally, and that was awesome to see. But the reason I'm willing to do a little traveling to see this president, just like you, I think if he's not the greatest president in American history, he's 1, 2, or 3. He's right there at the top. How far would you travel if you could go back in time to see an Abraham Lincoln give us?
Well, it's not that I don't want to travel. It's like I work 7 days a week. So and it's hard for me to even on the 4th of July, I've got work. I got to work. So it's hard for me. Even if you watch, I know you guys watch me on YouTube and you see me go here, and go there. Everywhere I go, even on our cruise, I'm working, and I usually take day trips. I'll go up in the morning and come back in the afternoon. That's why Orlando's kind of my cutoff because it's 2.5 hours each way. And that's it. It's hard for me to travel because of my schedule.
I really wasn't saying that directed at you because I know you see him every chance you can.
Oh yeah,
seen him several times. But I put that out there for the other people that may not have got a chance to see him. I mean, it's an opportunity to see actual history. The greatest president. This. You
say he's up in the 2 or 3. I mean, think about it. What president is greater and why than Trump? He is the greatest.
Well, to me, you're thinking, to me, George Washington the first. He could have been a dictator if he wanted to be, but he chose to be a president. Abraham Lincoln, of course, because he He freed this country. He freed the slave.
Yeah, but you know what? If President Trump had become president in 1860 instead of Lincoln, the slaves would have been freed and the Civil War would have been avoided. 500,000 Americans died in the Civil War, and obviously Abraham Lincoln and Washington are saintly-like figures. However, both of them were establishment people that were controlled by the big corporate interest of the day. Washington, the planters. And Lincoln worked for the railroads as an attorney. So President Trump, I believe, is the first president that has truly been elected by the people and not pushed by the political establishment of the day. That's what makes him the greatest.
Well, yeah, he put his agenda on the back burner and put America first on his plate. He put America first and foremost, and we haven't had a president ever really do that, I guess.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on Biden giving Putin a list of 16 things that are off limits to hacking? I mean, this is crazy.
It just shows his mental aptitude is just shot. I mean, you and I would know better than that. I don't understand how this guy could be a president. I really don't.
Well, it's scary. It's a very, very scary thing, and I am really, truly frightened. This is when I told the last caller before the break that tensions between this is the worst time since the Cuban Missile Crisis as far as Russian relations, and I mean that because Putin knows that he has an opportunity here and he's going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you said something earlier that really struck a chord with me when you said that the vice president is a bench warmer ultimately.
A bench warmer. I want to be clear on what you said. A bench warmer. Yeah, because that could sound like another word, and I don't want people to think you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, but I was thinking, why would we want Ron DeSantis sitting on the bench? He's such a talent. You want him out there on the field. So my thought was maybe Trump Jr. was saying something to the effect of, if he didn't run, Trump didn't run, he would back DeSantis. Maybe Donald Trump is looking at that House Speaker role if they get the House and the Senate. Now, my thought would be, we'll go ahead and get the Speaker, if he could, become Speaker, and then run for President and put DeSantis in the Speaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mike Pompeo is
DeSantis isn't going back to Congress. I mean, DeSantis is amazing. He announced yesterday he's sending security forces to the southern border in Texas and Arizona. Which really shocked me to hear that from Ron DeSantis yesterday. And, he's the greatest governor ever. And I knew he would be good. I didn't think he'd be incredibly great because he came from the House of Representatives and ran for governor. And I thought, okay, all right. And I never would have dreamed he's the most competent man ever to hold public office next to Trump. He's number 2 to Trump only.
Yeah, he's definitely a first stringer. We don't want him sitting on a bench, and we don't want him. We want him in the game playing for us. Is my thought.
Well, he is, and if you watch what he does every day, he has a press conference, and he's always doing something for Florida, but it involves what's going on nationally. Like yesterday, I'm going to play the clip after the next break, but he's sending security forces to the southern border out west, the border with Mexico. Not to Key West on the southernmost point of the United States. I mean, that's who would think of such a thing? Only Governor DeSantis.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Now, I got to tell you, Mike Lindell has been thrown out of a couple dozen retailers. They will not carry MyPillow. He has lost $65 million plus already, and we're only halfway through the year. This year alone, he's lost over $60 million. Because he's fighting for Trump. You need to stand with Mike Lindell. You really do. And the best way to stand with Mike Lindell is to buy MyPillow products. And when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, not only are you helping Mike Lindell, you're helping us here on the Steve Kane Show too. They've been advertising here on the Steve Kane Show for several years now. And Mike Lindell has every special you see at MyPillow.com you can take advantage of with the promo code Kane. But he has 2 specials that he's lowered to his lowest price ever on a couple of his products to give you an opportunity to stand with Mike Lindell and at the same time support the Steve Kane Show. First, The lowest price ever on the MyPillow. Normally the MyPillow is $69.98. With the promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com, Kane, you can get the MyPillow for just $29.98. And by the way, these are limited time prices, just $29.98. My wife and I, we bought some extra ones because this is for a limited time, and the price will have to go up at some point, and they're never going to be this low again. And we bought some for Christmas gifts already, even though it's June, and they come vacuum packed and they're easy to store. So just $29.98 for the premium MyPillow, and the 6-piece MyPillow towel set, which my wife and I are going to be ordering. We just had our bathrooms wallpapered, and we got to get some matching towels. And the MyPillow towel set comes in 7 different colors. The regular price for the MyPillow towel set is $109.99, $110, right? With the promo code Kane, just $44.98. Isn't that amazing? It's a huge discount, just $44.98 for the MyPillow towel set. But you've got to use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. We'll be back right after this.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
Welcome, everyone. Make sure you like the video, and if you're new, subscribe. Beltway Rebel, $10 super chat. It was horrifically frightening. I have yet to hear him say, God bless America. Yeah. Everyone thank Beltway Rebel for that super chat. Repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires because they also sell used tires starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000-mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The prices they give you are out the door and on the road. And
everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody could buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. Or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate. And that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
All right, we're coming back.
At the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All righty. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Last night, I put a new video up on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. Now, you know, on Saturday, I had a busy day, and I was talking on Monday. I put a video up. I visited Rush Limbaugh's mansion, on Saturday and made a YouTube video that will just give you goosebumps. It's very emotional. There is this incredible memorial that listeners of Rush Limbaugh put up in front of his mansion at the front gate that I go through. It's amazing. And it kind of reminded me of what the people in the UK did in front of Buckingham Palace on the gate there when Princess Diana died. You know, with the flowers and pictures and letters. It's absolutely amazing. But before I went to Rush Limbaugh's house, I went over to the church that Trump still goes to today, where he married Melania. And this is the most beautiful church I've ever seen in America. And I made a YouTube video of the church where President Trump married First Lady Melania. And it's on my YouTube channel. I put it up there last night. Go take a look at it. It'll blow your mind away as I walk you through the steps that President Trump and Melania took on that very special day in the most beautiful church you've ever seen in this country. I was really, really blown away by it. So check that out. It's on my YouTube channel. All right, so the greatest governor ever. Not just the greatest governor in America today. To my knowledge, as far as I can see, the greatest governor in the history of governors of this country, of whatever state. I've never heard of a governor being so great as Governor Ron DeSantis is. And those of you that don't live in Florida, you hear your states have been shut down. You're hearing these stories. New York is open. California's open. Is Whitmer opening? Michigan finally? Do you know how long Florida's been open? You know how long Florida's been open? Forever. We were never closed. Things might have slowed down and people might have been remote working and this might have happened and that might have happened, but Florida's been open forever for the whole thing. Because of our great governor, Ron DeSantis. God helped us. It really helped us when Andrew Gillum was defeated by DeSantis. If Gillum, the Democrat, who had a little problem, if you guys remember, had become our governor instead of Ron DeSantis, Florida would have not only been shut down like North Korea, I think we would have been the last state to reopen. It would have been terrible. And I don't know what we would have done here in Florida. And Ron DeSantis has saved us. And Ron DeSantis has a press conference every day. And it's not just relevant to Florida. Whatever he's doing for Florida is relevant to what's going on in the country. And what Governor Ron DeSantis did, this will blow your mind. He is sending law enforcement to the southern border in Texas and in Arizona for border protection because the Biden administration, we have an open border policy there. This is Ron DeSantis yesterday.
So today, we're here to announce that the state of Florida is answering the call. Florida is going to support Texas and Arizona. We believe that securing the southern border is important for our country, but specifically we believe it'll benefit the people of Florida to be able to get this under control. And so where the federal government has failed, the states are stepping up and doing our best to fill the void.
Wow. I mean, that's crazy. So he's been in communication with their governors, obviously, to do such a thing. He's not just sending... And who he's sending, it was unclear. Is he sending state troopers? Is he sending Florida National Guard? I do not know. But Ron DeSantis, I mean, he's going to be our second MAGA president. After Trump's second term in 2028, he'll be the nominee and be elected president, Ron DeSantis. And he'll be our second MAGA president. And that's amazing. And here you have the governor of Texas, Abbott. He's going to build a wall there using state funds. They're going to actually build a wall along the southern border in Texas since Biden stopped the construction of the Great Wall of Trump. And obviously he's in communication with Ron DeSantis to coordinate this. You know, President Trump, when he came down that escalator, he has just reshaped the Republican Party in this country in ways that it's just never happened before. I mean, think about it. You know, even in the days of Newt Gingrich with the Contract for America and all this stuff, when did you ever see Republicans? I'm serious. Now think about this. Give me some examples. Prior to Trump coming down the escalator, okay? When have you seen Republicans stand up like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like Matt Gaetz, Ron DeSantis, and I know there were others, but those are my favorites. When have you seen Republicans stand up like that against the media, against the Democrats, against... I mean, here you got Ron DeSantis, boom, critical race theory gone. He went against the CDC and the Biden administration. The cruise industry is reopened, okay, out of Florida. Next month it's going to be hardcore, but it's already back. You know, I mean, this is amazing what he's done. It's amazing, and this is the first time we've had a governor of Florida, other than Jeb in the 2000 recount. This is the first time we've had a governor in Florida become a national leader, right? Because that's how I kind of take it. As goes Florida, goes the country, at least the Republican parts of it. And Ron DeSantis, every time he gets out there and speaks, it's just like, I'm like, wow, I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed. I've never seen any governor take such a national leadership role like this. Every once in a while, you know, you'll have a New York governor that's high profile, like both Governor Cuomo's. And, you know, because they're Democrats and the press are based out in New York, the mainstream media, they're based out of New York. So the New York governors and New York mayors get more PR than anyone else because the media, they're their governor, they're their mayor. So they focus on it. But Ron DeSantis, I know I'm in Florida, but if I was in Michigan, if I was in Wyoming, if I was in Hawaii, I'd be talking the same way about Ron DeSantis. It's not just because I'm in Florida. Ron DeSantis, to my knowledge, is the first Republican governor ever to stand up against the forces of political correctness, the mainstream media, the Democrats, the PC machine, and all this stuff. Right? He's even standing up to the social media companies. This is insanity that's going on here. It's exciting too, at the same time, and it makes me proud. I know you guys too are very proud. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hi, Brian. This is Verlonda.
Hey, Verlonda.
I was listen. We really although we've got a piping idiot at the helm. We really can't be, I guess, we really shouldn't, well, maybe you should, but we really can't sort of blame it entirely on this particular man because he's demented. He's gone. But I tell you who I am mad at right now, to be honest with you. I'm angry at the Kasich. I'm angry at the Cheneys. I'm angry at the Ryans, who have basically capitulated in seeing to it that he was brought to even more prominence in this country. These are the people that are responsible, and right now that I hold very much responsible.
Well, the names you mentioned, they voted for Biden probably. You know, you think Paul Ryan didn't vote for Biden? Come on.
Mr. Kasich was in an interview on National Public Radio, said that Biden would govern from the center. I don't know how he knew this, but the rest of us knew better. Those of us who are out here, those of us...
Well, you heard this. Did you hear the beginning of the show when I played this thing of Biden with the list?
Yes, I did, Brian. And you know something? I'm going to say something here that might even really trip you up. He out-Cartered Carter. I don't even think Jimmy Carter would have been this stupid. But when you have a man at the helm who is losing his mind, losing his cognition daily, you can expect things like this. Who says publicly, while he is in Europe, while he's at Geneva, if I don't say the thing, and I quote, that they want me to say, they get mad with me. Let me tell you something. We right now in the United States, we are in trouble. If I didn't know who God was and I didn't hold fast to my faith, I'd be really petrified. And I say to you and everybody else, those of you who, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Protestant, hold on to your faith, because right now the United States is in trouble, and right now God is the only someone that can help.
And you know, yesterday, or I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, I think it was maybe the day before, but you had said something about Biden that we found out was very true. We were talking about Biden being 3 hours late to that meeting, and you were saying because of his Alzheimer's or whatever it is, the anger issues, they couldn't control him. Look at how he snapped at that reporter yesterday.
Yeah, Ryan, it's going to get worse. It's going to get more embarrassing. And what they're going to find, see, they thought they could pull this off. With medication, you can do everything. No, because ultimately what's going to happen to him is all of his faculties at some point, everything is just going to stop. And they were talking about this. I'm glad you mentioned Hunter, because I overheard someone say that his so-called new profession might be used the way Hillary used the found.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to mention that earlier. But then, I'm going to do it after the break, because I got to run. But I'll do it right after the break so I don't forget. All right, London, thanks for the call. Listen, we're going to take our last break of the first hour. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We will be back right after this.
Live on the radio. Hey,
Be right back, guys.
How are you today?
I'm doing well, Brian. You?
I'm great. What do you have for us today, Barry?
People who have Alzheimer's disease, which is a horrible disease where you no longer have your mental capacity. At that point, when the Alzheimer's is too severe, you can't make any more legal decisions for yourself. You can't sign any papers. You can't do your will, your power of attorney, your health care decisions. You can't do it. It's too late. And obviously, it's important to make sure that take care of this planning before, God forbid, that ever happens. I had a client's parents who they had gotten Alzheimer's in their 40s, and they survived for about 10, 12 years and past their 50s. Unfortunately, it's not something that only happens to us when we're in our 70s, 80s, and so on. It can happen at a much younger age. So it's just so important to make sure that we just plan ahead at a point where we actually can do it. So for anybody who has not planned, anybody who has people that they love, that has family, children, grandchildren, spouse, and you haven't done any planning yet, or you haven't updated or reviewed your plan in a long time, it's very important, because it's just, you can't predict the future. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know. God forbid these things could happen to us. So I would just urge everyone to make sure that you look at your plan and make sure it's up to date. And that's why we will do a free review of your current plan, or if you don't have a plan, come in, you fill out our questionnaire. We'll go through everything very thoroughly with you and make some recommendations to make sure that you and your family are protected.
Yeah, and things are always changing. You may not even realize it, because things in life happen so slowly, but over the course of time, those documents can be outdated. There's marriages, there's divorces, there's children, grandchildren that come onto the scene that weren't there when you made your arrangements, and all kinds of other possibilities. Give attorney Barry Siegel a call, a completely free consultation if you mention the Steve Kane Show. The number, 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782, and online,
Coming back.
All right, attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk later in the week.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, we are back. 10 before 7. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Yeah, I was going to bring this up later, but since Rolanda mentioned it, I want to bring it up now about Hunter's artwork. Now, yesterday, I saw these stories about these incredible prices Hunter Biden's artwork was going for, and I even heard someone say it's pretty good. And then I saw this video of him with the cocaine straw and with these paint by numbers, and pathetic. Pathetic. I mean, come on, you know. So why are they paying so much money? You know, there are a lot of celebrities that do art, and politicians too, like GW. His Never Trumper art collection. I've never seen celebrity art go for such a high price. And my first thought was what Rolanda said. This is a way, it's a money laundering operation. You know, the Clinton Foundation was a money laundering operation. It was like the car wash in Breaking Bad. And I remember when the Clintons first started the Clinton Foundation, we would hear these stories of Bill Clinton getting paid $250,000 to make a speech somewhere. And people are like, what is he saying? And then when Hillary left the Senate, she had a little area where she was, doing some high-priced speeches. And people, what are they saying that is worth so much money? And then what we found out during the campaign against President Trump in 2016 is it was the money laundering operation. They couldn't take money directly, but if you pay them these incredibly huge prices for the speeches, well, that worked out. That's how they got their payoffs, was through the Clinton Foundation. And these paint by numbers that Hunter is doing with the cocaine straw, to me, looks like that kind of operation. What do you guys think at 1-888-GO-CANE-1? It looks that way to me. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I finally saw because I didn't, I don't read too much about Hunter. Although, what he said about Asian Americans, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What he said about Asian Americans, plus this art story and everything else, could you imagine if that was Eric or Don Jr.? And I know everyone says that. But this double standard, I don't accept the double standard. That all Democrats have a complete license to do whatever it is that they want to do. And I don't accept the double standard. And just because the double standard is there doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about it. Now, President Trump was on Hannity last night. I'm sure some of you caught it. Let me play a little bit. This is President Trump last night on Hannity. I have one clip from it because I think this to me is very, very important. Here's President Trump last night on Hannity.
So I'm very honored to say that my endorsement means more than any endorsement that has ever been given by anybody. I mean, we're winning. We just won Republican Party chairman of North Carolina and of Georgia and of other places. We just won 2 races in Texas. We won a great race in Louisiana. This is just intermediate to what's happening. I'll be working and getting a lot of great people elected. And, again, they go up 20, 30, 40 points sometimes. The fake news doesn't like talking about it. But the numbers are really incredible. So I'm working on 22, getting a lot of good senators and a lot of good Congress people elected. And then we'll be making a decision on 2024. But if you look at the numbers, people are liking me more now than ever before. But I think that's the reason is they're watching what's happening with our country. They're watching no energy independence. They're watching the border. Never has there been a scene like what's happening at the border. And the death that's being caused. This isn't just border. This is death and criminals pouring into our country. They're looking at the economy. They're looking at inflation. They're looking at interest rates. They're looking at gasoline prices. And I guess it's making me very popular.
Okay. He said his endorsements are the most valuable, important endorsements ever, and he's right about that. And this is what you've got to be very careful, okay? Unless you personally see or hear President Trump, I don't mean something written, I mean with his own words. This is what the rallies are about, okay? Unless you hear President Trump with his own words, with his voice, give an endorsement to someone, don't support them. The Republican establishment are going to be putting up fake MAGA candidates all over the place. Some of them are going to claim, I understand some already are doing this. Some of them will claim endorsements from President Trump, even though he has not given them. They're going to go around in MAGA gear, like John Sullivan, did. And it is done to confuse you. It is done to undermine President Trump. The only endorsements that you can take to the bank are the ones that you hear President Trump give out of his own mouth. I've been talking a lot about this with Liz Cheney in Wyoming. I think Liz Cheney is the favorite to win the Republican primary in Wyoming, because the establishment are going to put up fake MAGA candidates. There's already about 8 people, 8 Republicans running in the Wyoming primary for Liz Cheney's seat. And let me explain how this works, okay? There's 2 groups of Republicans in Wyoming. There's the group that want Liz Cheney out, the MAGA Republicans, and then there's the group that support Liz Cheney. The group that want Liz Cheney out is bigger, but if we have 7 people, 7 fake MAGA candidates running against her, our votes divided in the primary, see? And her people are united. And so when President Trump gives his Wyoming endorsement, any other Republican running for that seat that doesn't drop out immediately is fake MAGA and is part of Operation Chaos. This is what Democrats have been doing this for decades. Now the Democrats are working with the Republicans to stop Trump. They don't want Trump to have a takeover in 2022 of the Congress. And this is what they're going to do. I know somebody just said in the chat, Liz Cheney doesn't have a chance. If they have 7 fake MAGA candidates dividing the anti-Liz Cheney vote, she does have a chance to win the primary. And if Liz Cheney wins the primary and she's up against a Democrat, well, we've lost. And this is what they will do. I remember during the days of the Tea Party candidates, the Democrats would put up fake Tea Party candidates all over the country, sometimes 2 or 3. And and who knows? You know, people don't know. They get confused, and it's what happens. And believe me, there's a lot of that in play here. So President Trump, his endorsement, he's a kingmaker. But beware of the fake Trump endorsements, because they're coming. I'm telling you, the fake Trump endorsements are coming. Sure as the rain's coming. I'm looking outside. Oh my goodness. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be right back.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning goes leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week, and we put all new ducts in for her, radiant barrier, and all the
Steve Kane Show.
And she just wants to tell you how our experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew, were very, very polite. And they did the work. It's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts. It's extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect. So I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes.
Wesley, $5 super chat. Everyone thanks Wesley there, if you don't mind. Let's hope Liz Cheney. I agree. I agree with you, Wesley, but, you know, you never know. You know, don't underestimate the Republican establishment. You never know what they're going to do.
Used now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork. And I got everything for less than what I thought it was.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100.
All right, we're getting ready to come back, guys.
Of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott a Cut My
Because that's how it works in Florida.
Listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him,
Welcome, everyone. Good morning.
939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
The Steve Kane Radio is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel. At
Yes,
Siegel
yes.
Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
All righty. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig, and we're also the most pro-Donald Trump radio show anywhere. If you're on hold, stand by. There are 2 openings right now at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 888-465-2631. I want to recap what I started the show with an hour ago, because I think what happened with Biden yesterday with Putin is the most frightening thing I've ever seen happen with a president of the United States. I believe that we're in the most danger we have ever been with Russia since the height of the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis days, which was before my time, but I know about it, as do you. Let me play what Biden said yesterday, and then we'll talk about it, and I'll go to the phones. All right, here we go. Here's Biden yesterday, frightening comments about his meeting with Vladimir Putin.
Another area we spent a great deal of time on was cyber and cybersecurity. I talked about the proposition that certain critical infrastructure should be off limits to attack, period, by cyber or any other means. I gave them a list. If I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me, 16 specific entities. 16 defined as critical infrastructure under U.S. policy, from the energy sector to our water systems. Of course, the principle is one thing. It has to be backed up by practice. Responsible country.
Okay, then he goes on. Biden gave Putin a list of 16 critical things that are off limits to hackers from Russia. And this is not a joke. I know other people in the news are making fun of this. It's so funny. He's saying that. What he just did was a couple things. One, he's implying that everything else is okay to hack. And if you're going to give Putin a list of things that you cannot hack in America, there's only one thing on the list. Everything is on the list. You can hack nothing. Everything is off the list. You can't hack anything. And not only that, he just gave Putin a list of 16 of the things that the White House believes are most critical to U.S. security. Is that really a responsible thing to do? Right now we're in a frightening time, and here's what it is. America is at its weakest point ever with this leadership. What happened yesterday is the most incompetent thing any president has done. If you know of something equally as incompetent as a president has done with a major country that we're in a conflict with, because the Cold War's back with Russia, let me know. This is the worst. Putin knows that he has Biden's term to act. He has a window of opportunity. We're in the most vulnerable, frightening time we've ever been in right now in this country. And this is no joke. All these people laughing about it at night on television and the news, it's not funny. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Linda in Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Linda.
What these fake candidates are doing is showing pictures of themselves with President Trump, sometimes shaking hands, in their promo material.
Yeah, Stormy Daniels could run for Congress. She has one of those pictures and say she's got an endorsement.
Right. Yeah, so we will not be fooled.
No, but, well, don't be so sure about that, because some of them we will know about and some of them you will not know about. And there's going to be confusion around this country about the era of the fake Trump endorsement is coming.
Do their best to confuse us, definitely. So we have to make sure that they are absolutely authorized and in Trump's bailiwick.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right, Linda. Take care. Thanks so much. Richie the bus driver, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Brian. I'm going to give you a comparison of what he did with those 16 infrastructures. If you've been on the phone for a lot of years, you and Steve. Now, you've made a lot of enemies. I mean, you know that. I mean, you've insulted people, but that's part of the show. But there are crazy people out there. That's equivalent to you. That to me, what he did with the United States it would be like as if you would give your phone number of your house out and your address and everything else, and invited people.
Well, the analogy that I used was a little better. The analogy I used in the first hour with a caller would be if Ronald Reagan was at one of the summits with Gorbachev, like the Reykjavik, Iceland's the big famous one. If Reagan would have gone into Gorbachev and gave him a list of 16 cities that are off limits to target, you know what I mean, with their arsenal, that is the equivalent to what Biden did with Putin yesterday, and he's bragging about it.
Yeah, Tony Blinken sitting there and letting him do it. I mean, maybe if Jill was in that meeting, she might have shut him up. I mean,
yeah.
Decline, and he's causing major problems. This is very serious. It's not a joke. And the other thing, I've had time to think. First of all, like you said about these candidates that run. You remember the black lady that got involved in that mob and she spoke street plaque, sort of.
No.
And then she was a professional.
No. Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Obama phone lady in Cleveland.
They infiltrate us, and they've been doing this for years. And the biggest shock of all, I've had time to think about this. The breach of the White House. Okay, where you said this was terrible to MAGA. Absolutely, but the Democrats know it was terrible to MAGA, and some of the Republicans, like Liz Cheney, know it was terrible to MAGA. So they've done everything. The FBI tried to get Trump out before he even ran. They spied on him. Then they tried to get him out while they were in power. And then I'm looking at this breach in the White House, and they said that there were FBI agents, not informants, agents that were involved in the planning, and they have.
Well, Tucker Carlson is doing a lot of good reporting, and he knows about all this stuff. And this began. There was a moment, the moment in Trump's presidency, when things went against him. Okay, that led to the end. Okay, it was when he was president-elect, and Comey went to him with the fake Russian dossier. He went to Trump Tower. He put the dossier on Trump's desk, and he said, we can either investigate this or it can go away. He threw him out, and then Trump fired him down the road, and that's what all this is about.
Yeah, the FBI going after him, but I think that the FBI was part of a plot.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think Tucker Carlson, I commend Tucker Carlson for doing, the night before was incredible, and he did a follow-up last night that was very good, confirming his previous night's reportings. It was pretty impressive. But, I was pretty upset that this clip I played of Biden with the 16 things that are off limits to hacking that he gave Putin, that people are making a joke out of this, like it's a late-night punchline. It is not a joke. it was scary.
Yeah, it's like Grandpa who has Alzheimer's opens up his mouth at the dinner table. You know, he blurts it out, and then he jumps on the reporter, and that was total anger. I mean, and that CNN reporter, and he lost his cool, totally lost his cool. This guy's in La La Land. I don't know how long. And if CNN got yelled at, I wonder how long are they going to carry this water? I think it's starting to turn. I tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Any question that was to him, I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It's ice cream flavor, folks. You know. But anyway,
I agree with you. I mean, here. Did you hear Richie's last words? He says we're in trouble. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. There's an opening where Richie the bus driver was at. 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
So I got a couple things for you. First of all, what was missing from Biden's press conference? The American flag. Secondly of all, Hunter's art dealer is connected to China. This is a way for people to buy their way to Joe Biden. Third of all, Biden is a coward. He's proven that time and time again. But this is just my opinion, and this is how I think it's going to play out. If the Democrats want people to look at Russia, you better be looking at China. And this is what I think is going to happen. I think Russia is going to do a little something. And then I think...
Well, Andrea, listen, what happened, there were two very severe hacking incidents in the last few weeks. The first one was the gas refinery, and the other one was the beef supply. And I said after both of those that I believe this was a test by Russia. They were running like war games activities. They were doing a test. And Obama might as well be Obama. Biden just went over there with his Obama staff and did nothing other than give Putin the okay to continue what he's been doing.
Well, that's right. It's like getting in a street fight and telling somebody, well, here's where you can't punch me, but everything else is okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, and this is just my opinion, I really do not believe that those hacks were Russia. I believe those hacks were China, and this is why. Biden gave China access to our electrical...
Well, the Chinese, the thing with China began, you may be right, but the Chinese influence over the Democrat Party began with Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, there was a guy, I want to say Charlie Tree. Any of you guys remember Charlie Tree? There was a Chinese American who was a donor to Clinton in his presidential campaign back in '92, and he was showing up at campaign offices with money. And later, Bill Clinton gave the Chinese rocket technology. And if you've noticed, the Chinese landed something on the moon. They sent astronauts up, and everything else. And it really started with Bill Clinton. And it's never stopped.
Think about it. Biden gave China access to our power grid. Trump put the brakes on TikTok once they determined that China was collecting American data from TikTok.
Yeah.
Ago. He opened the way so that China can again collect.
Well, now he's he's with Putin in Russia. And, Putin, the dictator, there's one thing yesterday, this is amazing to me. Putin's a dictator who, they don't even have elections really anymore. They've just kind of assumed he's always going to be there because they did have a constitution over there with term limits, and he managed to stay in power beyond his term limits. They've given up on that, but he's a dictator beyond imagination. And by the way, the press is no longer free in Russia. They used to be. After the fall of the Soviet Union, there was a time under Boris Yeltsin in the early days of Putin where there was a free press, but now they're totally state-controlled like in the Soviet Union era. So, Biden meets with this dictator whose opponents mysteriously pass away and everything, and the press call it a great moment for international diplomacy. Trump meets with Kim Jong-un, gives him nothing, and Trump props up a dictator. You know, I mean, you can't win with the press.
That for a second. President Trump, this took an immense amount of courage. President Trump walked into North Korea unguarded by himself. He stepped over that curb and walked into North Korea.
That was amazing.
No Secret Service, absolutely. But what I'm saying about China is that I think it's the setup. I think the Biden administration, something's going to happen.
Well, what's going on with Russia and Biden has to do probably with Ukraine, because we know they have interest in Ukraine, and so does Putin. So there's probably some deals going on there. If you get my drift, Andrea, I got to run for a break. Good points as always. If you're on hold, stand by. There's an opening on the board where Andrea was at 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And you know, the great inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell, needs you. He really truly does. You know, he has been removed from 20 big box retailers. They will no longer carry MyPillow products. His company has lost over $60 million this year already. We're only halfway through the year. I know, it's frightening what Mike Lindell's going through, because he's standing up for President Trump, whether it's Frank's speech or the rally he put on using his own money over the weekend in Wisconsin. And the best way that you can stand with Mike Lindell and help the Steve Kane Show at the same time is use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com and take advantage of the incredible deals there. And Mike Lindell, every special you see at MyPillow.com you can take advantage of with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. But he has lowered 2 items to the lowest price ever. This is for a limited time, so you need to take advantage of this while you can. 1, the MyPillow. Regular price, $69.98. That's how much I paid for mine, because my MyPillow that I've slept on for the past couple of years, I got before they were advertising with us here on the Steve Kane Show. We didn't have the promo code Kane yet. So the MyPillow normally $69.98, just $29.98 with the promo code Kane. My wife and I have bought a few extra MyPillows at this very low price of $29.98 for Christmas. This is for a limited time. The other special that has been lowered to its lowest price ever, also for a limited time, are the MyPillow towel sets. Come in 7 different colors. My wife and I are ordering actually 2 sets of the MyPillow towels this week. There's an incredible special. We just wallpapered our bathrooms, and we need new towels to match the wallpaper. And my wife's going to order them now. Now, regularly, the MyPillow towel set I haven't had. It's the only MyPillow thing I think I don't have, right? And I've been putting it off because we were redoing the bathrooms. Now we've done them. We're going to get them this week. The regular price for the MyPillow towels, $109.99. For a limited time, with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, just $44.98 for the MyPillow towel set. That's right, $44.98. So take advantage of that. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Stand with Mike Lindell. Support the Steve Kane Show. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, we'll be back right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attention seniors.
Welcome everyone, welcome.
Has launched I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will make all of your doctor's appointments for you, handle your pharmacy issues, including refills, billing problems. They'll even make sure your prescriptions are filled. They'll review your doctor's bills to make sure they are correct. If you're in the hospital and you need an advocate to get the care you need, I Will Advocates, they'll do that too. They'll handle your Medicare and Medicaid applications, and that's just the beginning. They do
okay, great.
Too.
That's
Debbie
awesome.
And her team at I Will Advocates a call right now. 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Online, IWillAdvocates.com. Never worry about your health care ever again. Let I Will Advocates handle everything for you. 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and
Steve Kane Show.
tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of...
Okay. Oh, that's my name. Okay, hold on. I'll put you on hold. Steve Kane Show. Hey, Bear, you got my text? We're not on tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, now that things are open, my wife's getting some tests done on Fridays. First time like in a year and a half she's had seen her doctor in Miami. So yeah, good. Okay, I just wanted to give you a heads up. Okay, great. Take care.
977-9445, 954-977-9445, and Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Where I hit the wrong button. There we go.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show. It's time to check in with attorney Barry Siegel, our elder law attorney, estate planning attorney, and of course Medicaid planning attorney at the Siegel Law Group. Hey, Barry Siegel. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What do you have for us today?
Well, I know I won't be on tomorrow, so I wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day coming up soon.
Oh, thank you, and you too, because yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and all the dads out there, happy Father's Day. And speaking of Father's Day, one of the best things that you can do for your adult sons who are dads is make sure that you have your estate plan set up. Someday, when you're no longer here, don't you think that the grief is going to be enough to not leave a mess on top of that, to have to leave a mess where they would have to deal with the probate process, deal with the courts and lawyers unnecessarily, where this can go on for months or years, to have things set up so that during any time of incapacity that you may have to go to court and deal with the judge again and lawyers because you didn't set things up to name somebody who can make healthcare decisions or legal or financial or business decisions. That's why it's so important to make sure that you leave that beautiful gift of taking care of your children so that they don't have to deal with these horrible issues.
Mm-hmm.
They're avoidable. You could plan to avoid them. You just have to do it.
In my family, Father's Day and my birthday are the years that are the times of the year my family get me to do things I've been avoiding. And you dads out there, a great Father's Day gift that you can give to the family is calling the Siegel Law Group and getting things in order yourself too. And those of you out there that have multiple children, like Steve has 7 children, if you don't have things set up about your medical decisions, what are they going to decide? By committee? Who's going to take charge of your there's a lot of things to consider. And the Siegel Law Group will handle everything for you. And of course, it's a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. The number, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. We'll have a great Father's Day weekend. Attorney Barry Siegel. How many kids do you have, Barry? 2. Oh, my goodness. I have 1. That's all I could afford. I couldn't. You know what it is. To get the second one, it gets tough. Well, happy Father's Day to you, Barry Siegel, and we'll talk next week. All right. Take care. Take care. Yeah, I know. Oh, man, I don't know how people handle multiple children. One is all I can handle, and it never ends. My daughter's 22 years old, and they're always like little kids to you, aren't they? I know. It's crazy. I can't believe I have a 22-year-old child. It makes me feel old. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, 3 times a lady. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
David?
Hey, David. What's on your mind?
I just want to say that it's really funny that Trump lost.
Yeah, I know. And when that happens, America loses too.
Replace now that Biden.
Oh, okay. See, maybe, I'm a biased person, okay? I'm very biased. I'm conservative. I love President Trump. In my mind, President Trump can do no wrong. So maybe I don't see the world clearly. Can you give me an example of something that President Biden has done that has made America better than under Trump? Just an example.
Everything.
Well, just pick one of them. One of the great accomplishments of Biden.
Just being a better person in general.
A better person? He's been accused of sexual assault by a woman. But in Trump's case, it wasn't true.
But did you know that Trump lost?
Well, sadly. But that's what we got another election coming up in 2024, and he's going to be reelected for his second term. All right, take care. Polly won a cracker. He's got one line and can't really move beyond it. Good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning, caller. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. Busy. All right. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's what the delay is for, people. That is what the delay is for. Oh, my goodness. All right. 1-888-GO. Kane 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. I'll take one or two more calls, and then after the bottom of the hour break, I'm going to jump into some other issues that I have not yet brought up. You're on the radio. Good morning. You're on the radio. Okay. That's good. He, him, what are yours?
Buff.
Oh, that's good. Yes, I've heard those before. Yes, I have heard those before. Those are pretty good ones. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Oh, boy. Listen, it's time for our bottom of the hour break, and I apologize for the short segment. That's my fault. I went long in the first segment. So we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, and we'll be right back with your calls after this. Don't go anywhere.
Steve Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me. He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number. Write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. 4633 BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
So you've been told you need a health test. What are you going to have to pay? Health tests can be very expensive. If you go to your doctor's office or one of the big labs, it can cost you hundreds of dollars. Sometimes I haven't had lab tests because of the cost. Then I discovered Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs' goal is to get you all the lab tests you need, save you money, and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less. At Any Lab Test Now of Coral
they're ringing.
Springs, you never need an appointment, no doctor's order, or prescription needed either. You can walk right in and have any of their thousands of lab tests done for just a fraction of the price the big labs or your doctor's office charge. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Private and affordable lab testing. 954-906-5983.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. With the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Sole Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, welcome back, one and all. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It is Thursday, and of course, we are live weekday mornings from 6 until 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. All right, I want to get a couple of sound bites here, and this one, you know, is a really sad thing that's going on right now in this country, and it's inflation. There are certain things that I try to ignore because to pay attention to what's going on can be very depressing and very difficult to deal with. Sometimes I feel like the guy in the Matrix. I was talking to a call about this the other day. I sometimes feel like the guy in the Matrix that betrayed everybody on Nero's team. Remember this in the first movie? And he made a deal where he was going to be put back in the Matrix. He would rather live in the Matrix than in the real world because the real world is so painful to experience. And that's the way things are a lot of times here. This is a segment from Fox Business yesterday about inflation. Okay? And inflation is it is something that people really struggle with. It may not affect you. It depends on how much money you earn and how you feed your family. But this is Fox Business yesterday. Listen.
This hour, inflation pressures are building. National milk prices are moving higher. In addition, with everything else, a gallon of milk now costing more than a gallon of fuel.
Okay, now that's significant because gas prices are at an incredibly high price right now. They're $1 or more per gallon than they were the day of the inauguration. And I took very careful attention to this because on Inauguration Day, I went up to Mar-a-Lago to see President Trump, and I saw President Trump in his last couple of moments of, before the inauguration. It was a sad day, but I wanted to see him there and support him on that day, and I did. And before I drove up to Mar-a-Lago, I went to the gas station and filled my car up, and I took note of the gas price. It was $1.99 a gallon. $1.99 a gallon on Inauguration Day. Now it's at least $1 more a gallon, sometimes more depending on where you go. So for milk prices to cost as much and as more as a gallon of milk hits a lot of people pretty hard.
Lydia Hu joining me now with the very latest. Hi, Lydia.
Hi, David. These are baby dairy cows. They will mature in about 2 years, and at that time, they'll start producing about...
Now, Hunter Biden would not like this segment because an Asian woman is the reporter, and he said no Asians. You remember that? He said that yesterday, Hunter Biden?
8.5 gallons of milk a day. But the cost of getting that milk from the farm to your kitchen has gone up over the past year, driven by the price of gas, even the price to package the milk. Now that price is about $3.50 a gallon nationally, more than the price of a gallon of gasoline, and experts say that's a symptom of national inflation.
Okay, now before I get to the rest of this, see, this is the, and I don't like to get bogged down on economic theory and discussion too much, and we don't do that too much here on this program, but Biden, who just signed off on Putin having a pipeline, shut down the Keystone XL pipeline. He hates pipelines, right? And under President Trump, the United States, for the first time since the 1950s, became the #1 producer of oil in the world. Gasoline prices is at an all-time low. That makes everything cheaper. When gas prices go up, you heard the reporter on Fox Business, the cost of transporting everything goes up, so the prices go up. gas prices going up cause the price of everything to go up because things are driven around by vehicles that are powered by gasoline.
And this is just the start.
Very disturbing, and not only for consumers when they're going into the supermarket, but for the industry as well. Frankly, we're not even in the middle of this yet. Prices are going to go up. The food industry is very, very concerned about this.
You know, it's not just the price of a gallon of milk in the stores either. We also know the price of bacon up about 13%. The price of citrus fruits also up more than 9%. But I can tell you the farmers here at Klein Farms in Pennsylvania say they are focused on their milk production and raising the next generation of dairy cows that will help produce our nation's milk supply. David.
Okay, so milk, meat prices going up. You know, I was at the UPS store one day mailing something, and I heard a conversation between two of the women working at the UPS store, and it was a sad story. It was a sad story. They were, it wasn't payday yet, and they were. One of them had quarter of a tank of gas in her car, and she said the quarter tank has to last her till payday. And the other woman said to her, "My car's been on E for 2 days." You know, and we're in a phase again where people are in positions where they cannot afford to fill their cars up with gasoline because gas prices are going up so much. And now it's finally, because it's been that way for several months now, it's causing the price of everything to go up. And that has an effect on people that are low-income people, that have kids, that have families. And this is a terrible thing. You know, it's bad enough we've had so much economic suffering over the past year and a half because of the shutdowns. You know, and this is something that's being done to us to do what? To please some special interest group? Some people that talk about green crap? That tell us these lies about the seas rising, which isn't true, and global warming? Well, it's no problem if you live in New York City, where everything's already expensive and you use public transportation. But if you live outside of New York City and you get around in your own personal vehicle, it's tough. And if you've got kids to feed, it's doubly tough. You know, and Biden doesn't care because his son can get a paint by number kit at Walmart and paint it and sell it for $50K. Like we saw him being celebrated in the news for yesterday. You know, I knew when Biden came in, things were going to be bad. I didn't think they were going to be this bad. Now, the media yesterday, let me play this clip. This is a CNN reporter. Well, Biden was snapped at a reporter yesterday. Let me share that one first, then we'll get to the other one.
He's confident he'll change his behavior, Mr. President.
Yeah, I'm not confident in changing behavior. What the hell? What do you do all the time?
What do you do all the time? And then he goes and confronts the woman, losing control. And this is an interesting because people will say, well, Trump got into it with the press. The press are liberal Democrats who are basically not reporters, but stenographers for state-controlled Jen Psaki media here. He's losing his cool at a friendly audience. And then CNN made an observation yesterday.
Not seen him do is answer questions like that without his aides screaming at him to stop. I have never seen a president, covering the last 4 of them, who is so protected by his aides in terms of often not wanting him to answer some questions.
Okay. Now, what happened with the press yesterday, this was all fake news. Okay? There were actually 2 confrontations with the media. There was this one when he snapped at the reporter, and then there was another one that looked to be on a tarmac. You know? And he says, I know you got to ask negative questions all the time. That's what you do. Remember that one. And then this analysis by CNN. Make no mistake about it. The media love Biden. They're all liberal Democrats. They're yes men stenographers, state-controlled media, no doubt about it. The corporate mainstream media. Okay, that's what they are. What this was about yesterday was a distraction to make you think that there's some conflict between the two of them, and also to try to give them some credibility, and also to distract away from what he did with Putin yesterday, which was give Putin the okay to commit cyber attacks on the United States. We're going to take our break. Steve Kane will be joining us. We're going to take our break. When we get back, we'll have Steve joining us, and we will take calls. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Any lab tests now of Boca offer more than just lab work. They also have B12
Hey guys,
injections available.
those of you on TikTok, make sure that you follow me here on TikTok, all right? I'll see you guys later. I'm going to end the feed now, but make sure you follow me. Talk to you later.
Disease, improve memory, and improve mood. B12 injections at any lab test now at Boca Raton, like their lab test, are priced low. 5 injections for just $69. Other places in town charge $349 for 3 injections, so that is a huge savings. Any lab test now at
Steve
Boca
Kane
Raton
Show.
is located at 23016
Steve Kane, yeah.
Plaza on the east side of 441, just a few doors down from Western Beef. If you have any questions, call 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and
Steve Kane Show.
systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for
Okay.
a free home inspection
Hold on.
and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Matez. Now that I've joined the Biostation West Delray, we're not just about making you feel good, we're all about making you look good too. Our practitioners are well trained
Steve Kane Show.
in the use of Botox, fillers, platelet-rich plasma, microneedling lasers, as well as any modality out there. We even have a Miami plastic
Steve Kane Show.
available for the big jobs. We can now make you look good to match the way we make you feel. So if you want to feel good and look good, call us at the Biostation West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. And for a limited time only, if you're a Steve Kane listener, 10% off all cosmetic services. And if you happen to be a Steve Kane cruiser, we're going to give you another 10%. That's 20% off all cosmetic services leading up to the Steve Kane cruise.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for www.
Oh man, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane, you with us? Oh, now, you guys, if you heard that new message from Dr. Mitch Matez, 10% off all cosmetic procedures they do, which includes Botox. And if you're going with us on the cruise and you mention that, it's 20%, another 10% off. Pretty good deal over there. Let me give you guys the number. The Dr. Matez's office at the Biostation, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. You were telling me you might get some Botox for the cruise.
No question about it. I'm put me down definite.
Well, when you call, make sure you mention your name, Steve Kane Show, so you get that 20% off. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now.
It's a while since I've done Botox.
Yeah.
Bit about that.
Okay. Now I wanted to get back into this thing with Biden and Putin, or did you have a way you wanted to go? What did you want to do?
No.
Okay. I've been talking to. I would never do that. I would never do that. Are you sure? Okay. I wanted to play this again. I started the show with this, and I've talked about it quite a bit on the program today, and I think it's important. And I know a lot of people in the news are making a joke out of it, and this is not a joke. Right now, the United States is in more danger with the Soviet Union. We might as well call them that because they're back. It's the USSR with another name. We are in the worst, most dangerous situation that we have been with Russia since the Cuban Missile Crisis with Biden's trip, because Putin knows that he has an opportunity now, and the opportunity is the time that Biden is president, and that means election day, right? And he's on the move. And Biden yesterday gave a terrible message to Putin. Now, we had two recent major cyber attacks on the United States: the oil refinery that shut down the gas supply for the eastern United States for a few days. We had the gas lines, remember that? And then they attacked the beef company, and there was, and those were out of Russia, and those, I believe, were test runs by the Soviets. I know it's hard to imagine. I'm saying Soviet on purpose. And then yesterday, Biden came out with, this is not funny, this is not a joke, this is a very, very serious, troubling, disturbing comment. Here's Biden yesterday thinking that he's saying something that makes him look like a strong leader. It's crazy.
Another area we spent a great deal of time on was cyber and cybersecurity. I talked about the proposition that certain critical infrastructure should be off limits to attack, period, by cyber or any other means. I gave them a list. If I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me, 16 specific entities.
Okay. He gave him a list of 16 targets that are off limits for cyber attack, which implies everything else is. That is the stupidest, most irresponsible comment any president has ever made with a foreign leader. And no, he did not. He didn't give him a list. He gave him a list. He did not misspeak. He gave him a list of 16 things that are off limits.
He's too old to be the president of the United States.
You're never too old, but his mind is too far gone. This is the analogy I used earlier in the show. I'll use it with you. This would be like when President Reagan had his historic summit in Iceland, Reykjavik, Iceland, with Gorbachev. If he would have gone in and said to Gorbachev during the nuclear talks and said, here's a list of 16 cities that are off limits from nuclear attack. That's the same thing that he did. That's what Biden did yesterday. So the rest are okay?
That's ridiculous.
Well, that's what he said.
But I think if he had it back after the words were out of his mouth, I don't think he would have.
But Steve, what he did was show Putin that America is weak and lost.
Our president is weak and lost.
Well, he's the leader.
Back to him.
And
a ridiculous remark to know that Biden is weak.
Listen, after that, Putin couldn't be happier. I saw Putin yesterday. He was on top of the world. And because he knows now America is at its weakest point that we have been in the modern era. There's no. And that means they're going to be on the move to do whatever it is that he has planned. And and I was talking. You remember this, Steve? When Ronald Reagan walked out of that Reykjavik, Iceland summit, because Gorbachev made a list of demands. He wanted this, this, and this. And Reagan said no. And he walked out, he got in his car, and they started warming up Air Force One. And the media, and then Gorbachev begged him to come back. The Democrats and the media made a move to impeach President Reagan for disrespecting the Soviet premier and walking out. And that was a sign of strength that may have been the moment that ended the Cold War. What just happened here is the keys to America were just handed to Putin because he sees that America is weak and has a bumbling fool as a leader, a senile old coot. And this is scary to me. It's not funny. It's not misspeaking. We're in trouble, big trouble. There's trouble in River City. Okay, all right. If you're on hold, we're going to go to the calls. 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Let's go to Mike in Boca.
Yeah, well, it's a learning lesson. And,
Steve Kane Show.
Mandarin, because
Steve Kane Show.
Yolanda said this is Jimmy Carter's time. This is a rehash of the 70s between when New York was playing and how.
Well, when Jimmy Carter was president, I was like in third grade. I vaguely remember it, but I know what happened during those years, and what happened was the Iran hostages. Nothing, Jimmy Carter, what he did that was stupid there is our Marine guards had guns that had no bullets at the embassy in Tehran. It's true. The Marines, the guarding the embassy. Yeah, they had no ammunition in their weapons. They were armed with unloaded weapons guarding the embassy in Tehran. That was Jimmy Carter's doing. But other than that, what did he do that was at the level of incompetence that Biden did yesterday with Putin? Can you think of something?
No, I can't think of any president. I mean, no. Ronald Reagan is the complete opposite. I've seen plenty. I was there. We were there.
But Barack Obama, who gave away those top Al Qaeda terrorists for that deserter traitor Bergdahl, was more competent than this.
I mean, Reagan. Every time he spoke to Mikhail, he always would just walk away, and he'd get what he wanted. He'd get what he wanted for the role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, we're not doing it. We're going down. We're regressing back.
Mm-hmm.
No one's working. We're closing down the factories again. China's going to make everything for us.
That's right.
On the
Yeah. All right. You're giving me too much bad news, Mike. I got an hour and 7 minutes of show here left, and you're giving me so much bad news, I might fall down on the floor in a fetal position and not be able to continue the broadcast if you keep giving me a list of what Biden's doing to us.
Well, I want to ask something to Steve. If I can ask Steve a question.
Go right ahead.
So, Mitch Matez, you said you're going to get the Botox?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, just throwing this out there, I just had a birthday, so I thought maybe, like, somebody can pay for my pellets, because I want to try.
Yeah, yourself. You're 50. Well, you want Steve to pay for your hormone replacement pellet therapy?
Well, we can make a nice, like, commercial.
Let me ask you a question here. Let me ask you a question here. Who pays? You know, like I go to Any Lab Tests Now to get work done. Steve goes to Any Lab Tests Now. We go to our sponsors. I buy tires from Friendly Tire. How do you think we pay for our tires and our health test? And we pay for them. But by the way, I'll tell you this. Okay, I'm going to tell you this though, because I know you're a guy that works very hard. I know what you do. You work very, very hard, and you have a job that is too hard for your age. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You're on the older side of what you do. I was talking to, oh, you got promoted. Good. Happy birthday for that. I was talking to Dr. Matez yesterday because he came up here. We recorded new commercials that you're hearing. 3 new commercials, and I was asking him about the pricing for hormone replacement pellet therapy. It is at an all-time low price if you call over there. Mention the Steve Kane Show so you get the free consultation and meet with Dr. Matez, okay? And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how affordable hormone replacement pellet therapy is. Yeah, but we're not... And by the way, I know what you're doing. You hear a lot of people that do spots for us that are callers, like Richie and the nice lady that did the commercial about Scott from Cut My Kilowatt. These are all people, hold on, Mike. These are all people who have used the products and services, paid for them, and then we're so happy they called us on the air. We don't pay for people's pillows or any of these. Are all people that are really going out and buying the products and then calling us and using them.
Yeah, no, I mean...
Okay. All right, Mike. All right, take care. That's one I haven't gotten before. There was that one listener that stole the hamburger from one of your sponsors once, Steve. The Hamburglar? I remember
it well.
I just want to say, I want to be clear about this because I don't want Mike to put confusion out there. As every commercial that you hear that is of a listener, whether it's Richie the bus driver or the other people that aren't as well known, okay? Juan in Coral Springs for Champagne Automotive. None of these are set up. These are all people that have used the products and services that our sponsors offer. They went there and on our endorsement and used them, and we're so happy they called us on the air to tell us about their great experience. We don't do any barter with people to do any of these. These are all organic and real endorsements because I think Mike thinks that's what we do, so he's trying to get us to pay for his pellets, but I'm sorry, Mike, that's not how it works.
Pellets. He was talking about.
No, he wanted the pellets. He said pellets. He just turned 50, so he wants to start hormone replacement pellet. And I asked Dr. Matez about the pricing of hormone replacement pellet therapy, and I was shocked at how low it is. I was really shocked. You call over there. I'll give you the number for Dr. Matez's new office at the biostation, 561-320-8893. Did you see what our great governor's doing, Steve? DeSantis?
I don't know. All I know is you must be on his payroll. You never stop talking about him.
I'm on his payroll and Trump's payroll then, I guess. You don't like Ron DeSantis?
Well, I can, but I don't. I'm not as gaga over him as you appear to be.
Well, because you don't see him enough talking.
I don't. I mean, I follow
Yeah.
very closely. I'm very, very familiar with all the details surrounding his candidacy.
He's the best governor ever.
He is. I have nothing against Ron DeSantis, but I haven't had an opportunity to work up the enthusiasm at this point.
Oh, well, you're not following him. You're not following him closely enough, because Ron DeSantis, he's the greatest governor ever. Well, let me play a clip. Ron DeSantis had a press conference yesterday, and he dropped something that really was shocking to me. This is Governor DeSantis of Florida yesterday.
So today, we're here to announce that the state of Florida is answering the call. Florida is going to support Texas and Arizona. We believe that securing the southern border is important for our country, but specifically we believe it'll benefit the people of Florida to be able to get this under control. And so where the federal government has failed, the states are stepping up and doing our best to fill the void.
Okay, so Ron DeSantis is sending some type of security forces to Texas and Arizona for border security at the southern border along Mexico. I mean, he's working with Abbott, and I've forgotten who the governor of Arizona is, I guess. I guess he's working with them too. But he is sending, I don't know if it's state police or National Guardsmen. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing what Kamala should be doing. He's getting involved, and this is unheard of before. I've never seen anything quite like this.
Creative, and there's no question in my mind, as he puts these things together, that he is in close touch with
President Trump.
With President Trump.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Yeah.
But I don't want to see. I've got a very clear. Maybe it's just me. I got a very clear picture in my head of how I want this thing to play itself out. Mm-hmm. And I don't want anybody getting so far ahead in the game that they detract from the overall plan, which is, of course, President Trump.
Well, DeSantis is going to be his vice president in 2024.
Yeah, but you don't want confusion. You know,
there's no confusion.
All right.
There's no. See, this is important because Ron DeSantis is going to be Trump's vice president in his second term, and then in 2028, DeSantis is going to have the nomination and be the second MAGA president in 2028. So this is, and we're so lucky to have him in Florida. Oh man! All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be back with the third hour right after this.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Hi, folks. Dr. Matez here. Now,
Steve Kane Show. Not right now.
State-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Brian Craig here. You've heard us talk about the great low prices Friendly Tire has on new tires and used tires. They also do tire repairs. Listen to one of
Did you guys see the video of the Ace Hardware guys? Oh my gosh. Yeah. All righty, welcome back. My name's Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You with us, Steve? Oh, man, I tell you, what a scary time we had with Biden over there. But it'll be over soon, and then he can come back up here and screw things up in person, I guess. I don't know. I mean, this whole week. Well, yeah. I mean, the whole week was scary. You know, there was something yesterday, and Greg Gutfeld was made this point last night on Fox, on that 7 o'clock show. Did you see this bizarre thing that Kamala Harris did yesterday? She had, I guess, all the Democrat women from Congress over, you know, Elizabeth Warren and all these people. And she baked some cookies. I don't know what she baked. She cooked for them. And Greg Gutfeld pointed out something I thought was pretty sharp, that it's kind of sexist. You know, I mean, she first female vice president, and they made a whole special about her, and they put her in the kitchen to cook for everybody. Little sexist. Yeah. But you know, when you think about it, we've got the two to be an incompetent vice president is hard to do, because vice presidents really have nothing to do. So, how can a vice president be incompetent at something when there's no job? And Kamala Harris has done what no vice president has done, and that's screw up as the vice president, which I thought was impossible to do. I think. What do you mean? You mean like in the next election? What do you mean? Oh, other than Kamala? I would think that they were until she screwed things up in the last week. Yeah.
Puts it mildly. I mean, she's got big emotional problems. That thing that, we make a joke out of the thing where she is continually laughing when saying things that are unfunny and laughing.
Yeah.
These are all signs of pathology. I mean, they got to get rid. Unless I don't want to put words in your mouth. You think anyone's gonna give her a serious nod?
Aren't they stuck with her? How can they move on from Kamala? What are their options?
Get somebody.
Pick a new vice presidential running mate?
Oh, better than Kamala, hard to imagine.
Mayor Pete would be better than Kamala. Beto would be better than Kamala.
Why are you sticking to this list of losers that were...
Well, I'm saying is anybody would be better than Kamala. That hasn't happened. Somebody out. I don't think it's happened since Roosevelt, where they picked a new vice president.
Kamala is... no candidate has ever really been as incompetent and had the negatives, the personal negatives of Kamala. She has alienated everybody.
Yeah.
The question is how, unless it's just going to be in the early primaries, that the public will speak at the ballot box and the public will take care of it like it's supposed to.
Randall, super chat. Thank you, Randall. I'm going to thank Randall. Well, the problem is they have two incompetent people. She was supposed to be the together one. I mean, it's really interesting how the last couple months have changed things, because a couple months ago, everyone was talking, well, the plan is for Biden to get in with Kamala and then resign and then her come in as president. And now that's not no one's talking about that now because it's not an option. We've got the Democrats are in disarray because their plan was to plug her in at some point, and now they can't do it.
You know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men, but it looks that way, that basically it's set up for somebody to replace.
Yeah. You don't seem too worried about the way Biden carried himself lately.
Petrified of Biden from back in the primaries.
Yeah.
He's frightening.
Well, there's no, yeah. I mean, there's no getting around that. But there's, what I'm more worried about than anything than Kamala or Biden, and it's related to them. What I'm most concerned about is Putin right now, because Biden went over there and showed how checked out he is, and that America is wide open right now, and Putin is going to take advantage of what he views as an incredible opportunity.
I think he has his incredible opportunity, and I don't think he needs to reinforce it any. I think he can afford at this point, after that great summit, or whatever you want.
Oh my gosh.
I think he can now sit back a little bit and let his gains solidify.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's going to happen is we're going to see more of this hacking. You know, because of the way Biden behaved, there were those two major incidents. Biden did nothing about it, and now he looks so checked out. And I was talking to Rolanda about this earlier before you joined us. These two incidents where Biden lost his cool with the press shows that he's not in control, because he's snapping at his friends in the mainstream media.
And the personality thing, Biden hasn't been in control for a long time.
But it's getting worse.
It's no secret.
But during the campaign, they had him locked away in the basement. Now he's working full days, which he didn't do when he was younger. He didn't work full days, you know? And now he's working full long days, and he's the boss now. He has no one to hide behind. This summit, he's been working. He's been there the whole time at this summit.
There and working, I think he is. I think they're still basically.
Well, during the basement days, during the basement days of the campaign, he would start the day around 8 or 9 o'clock, and he would end at 11 a.m. And then he'd be gone. You wouldn't see him. He put a lid on it. Now he's got these events that he has to show up to all throughout the day, and he's been doing it on this G7. And you see the deterioration in his behavior, in his thought process, and everything along the way. And I've never seen foreign leaders look so happy. Even Boris Johnson in the UK, they're so happy because now they know America is. We're like right now. America is like a fallen country. You could argue that under Biden, with what we've seen at the G7, that we are no longer a superpower under his leadership, you know, and that's what it looked like to Putin and these third-rate leaders of these third-rate G7 countries like France and UK and Germany. We were the lone superpower. They said we're no longer a superpower. I think is what it looks like to me. Not until Trump comes back in 24.
Start fairly soon.
Yeah, but during. Yeah.
The Steve Kane Show will keep you abreast of, or a thigh of what's happening as the campaign.
Yeah.
For example, this week, where is Donald this week?
Nothing. There's nothing till the end of the month.
There are two things that they've got.
Not till the end of the month. He's got his rally in. It's the 17th. It's the 17th. It's the beginning of the end of the month. So he's got the 26th of the month, which is 9 days away. He's going to be in Cleveland. And then on July 3rd, Tampa. And July 30th is the border. Yeah, but that's not for a week. And even during the campaign, Biden's still running the former superpower of the United States. You know what? This thing with Putin and Biden up there reminded me. People were talking about Boris Yeltsin, and I forgot about Boris Yeltsin. But I remember Gorbachev. You know, he was deposed, and he returned. I remember when Gorbachev returned to Moscow, he had a joint press conference with Yeltsin, and it was on that balcony at the Kremlin where they used to always come out and wave. And Mikhail Gorbachev, he had a thing he was reading, and he's like, I can't share this with you right now. And Yeltsin said, no, share it with him, and then he did it. And then Gorbachev did it, which showed that Yeltsin was in control, not Gorbachev at that point. There'd already been a transition; it just wasn't public yet. And Yeltsin did that on purpose. That's what I saw with Putin and Biden together. I saw Putin basically now has taken over the United States government in a way that Biden surrendered our government to Putin, is what it looked like to me. And I'm not saying that because I don't like Biden, you know, or anything. I thought it was frightening what happened over there. And they really, you know, I think when Biden came in, they thought two things. They didn't realize how stupid and incompetent Kamala was. And the other thing was, I think they thought they were going to keep the COVID thing going longer. and lockdowns and COVID restrictions would keep Biden in the White House away from things like this. I don't think they ever dreamed that he would have to go and have a week-long event like this. You know, listen, we're going to take our first break of the last hour. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. Steve is here. We'll take that break and be right back after this.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
I checked the temperature this morning before I left. The high.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. What do you want to talk about? No. You're not on the air yet. Okay. Oh my gosh. Steve Kane Show. No. Steve Kane Show. Hey, Doug.
Hey, Patriots, we are in big trouble. Biden just gave America away to Vladimir.
Struggling to keep your house cool. So Scott has the radiant barrier. So tell people what radiant barrier is and how it works.
Radiant barrier is like a big aluminum foil tarp.
Steve Kane Show.
On the roof deck below the trusses, so there's an air gap. So
Hold on.
The roof, and it basically just turns the heat wave that comes down off the roof around and pushes it back up off the roof. So it makes your roof function like a white shingle reflective roof. You know, you see those white roofs on people's houses. They put them on because it cuts their electric bill 25-30%. Same thing with radiant barrier. You put it in on the inner side of your roof deck. You know, it's like $1 a square foot. And when you've got a special, if you spend 2,000 square feet or more, you get an additional $500 off. So I mean, hey, it's very reasonable. It's very affordable. This time of year, you know, you're getting it for half price, plus you're getting additional money off. We also do traditional insulation, and we do ductwork. So we can do like the complete job in your attic, whatever you need up in your attic. Insulation, ductwork, you know, radiant barrier. We can do the whole package.
Now listen,
We do that for a lot of people.
it's getting hot today. It's going to be about 88, 89 degrees here in South Florida. We're not in the hottest heat of the summer yet. We will be soon. And because of that, Scott, he's offering a great discount before it gets super hot, because as it gets hotter and hotter, it's more difficult for his crew to work in the attic. Now it's not quite as hot. They can get the work done faster, can spend more time in the attic. I want to give you Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm going to give you his website and his number.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and everybody like the video. I'm just reading a couple articles.
Call at 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. Online, cutmykilowatts.com. And again, listed at stevekaneshow.com. Scott will save you money on your electric bill this and every.
Well, thank you.
All right, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Have a great day. We will talk later in the week.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, we are back. You know, did you see this video at all, Steve, about the Ace Hardware guys in Seattle, Washington? Oh, my goodness. I was just looking at this during the break at Trending Politics, which, by the way, trendingpolitics.com is a great conservative news website. I just found it a while back, and they've got good stuff. This is Ace Hardware employees in Seattle, Washington, ran off, I can't play the video because of the language, ran off with baseball bats customers who were not wearing masks. And they physically attacked them as well. They went after them with baseball bats and then physically attacked them. And it's Well, there's, it's what Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about, right, with the vaccine passports. We have a new group in our society. We have a new division in our society, the masked and the maskless. And Florida, we've been without masks for a long time. I haven't worn one in a month. I don't even know where my masks are anymore. I don't bother to take them anywhere with me any longer. And when I go, like I went to Walmart yesterday, and more than half the people were still wearing them. And there's this divide that's going on in this country between the left and the right, and it's if you see somebody with a mask, that's a Biden person. If you see someone without, it's assumed that they are a MAGA person, and the liberals are getting triggered and they're physically attacking. In this video, and at the Ace Hardware, I tweeted this so you guys can go and watch it. Is disturbing. I mean, Steve, they really went after them with baseball bats and physically attacked them because they weren't wearing the masks. I've never seen anything like this. It's a visual more than audio. The audio was just profanity. So if I played it on the air, it would just be one long beep, beep, you know what I mean? But go on. I put it on Twitter. You guys, or see it at Trending Politics and watch it. And I don't see us moving away from this because we don't have a leader. Mm-hmm. Steve Kane Show. Yep. Hold on. Steve Kane Show.
They're getting a new bug.
Yep. What's your name?
Over in England, they're talking about.
Hold on, Mayor. Steve Kane Show.
Vaccinating, or with the new.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep up. You never know. It's like the never-ending story.
Yeah.
You never really know, and it doesn't take much because people are very quick to jump onto that panic.
Yeah.
When it's.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Well, let's go to the phones. Yeah.
Visit Courtney, who just had our 8th grandchild.
Mm.
And I don't know that she's going to be able to make the trip now.
Oh, really?
Hey. My name's Mary, and I'm calling from Illinois. And I just wanted to say one thing. I know you keep saying that Trump in...
Guys, I gotta end the feed. My phone's gonna go dead, so my apologies. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, guys? I'm sorry. The phone's about to go dead.